Go Pizza presents SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
The hockey gods blessed us.
With what?
News and things.
Oh!
Everything happened.
Everything. I didn't know we were starting the show there, Jesse.
It's been like 16 hours and so much has happened.
I know. Yeah. This is, I think, maybe the quickest turnaround we've had between podcasts.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm leaving for San Francisco for a little mini vacay before we get rolling for the playoff push. So that's
Mrs.
why
Dangle was in her element last night. She's like, oh, well, because I gave you a couple of vacation tips, but
Yes.
she was like, you forgot everything. You're a stupid man. I'm going to tell Jesse everything.
When am I getting those?
After the show or
Okay.
right now? I forgot to tell you about the, how do you pronounce it? Girardelli?
Oh.
The chocolate place.
Okay.
You can get lots of chocolate. Okay. You can get ice cream sundae, and I'm pretty sure they dunk it in chocolate. One of those.
What?
Jesse, it's very good.
What?
It is very, very good. San Francisco is a great place to get fat, which you won't have a problem with.
No, I'm going to try and get fat.
Oh, 5,000 calories a day, not gaining an ounce, friggin' bastard.
I've been blessed with a great metabolism. I can't
Good
complain.
for you.
I can't complain. Well, Steven, I have one question for you.
I have an answer.
Are you hungover?
No. No. Yeah, everyone, oh, shit. Like, dude, I chugged 4 beers out of a cup, and I was a little gunned. I was briefly gunned.
How was editing?
I was just tired.
No.
That's all. No, they were part of the reason I drank them out of the cup. One, I thought it was funnier. Two, the only beers I had in my fridge were light beers that I bought in the summer and I just wanted to get rid of. And I figured chugging light beers, especially out of a bottle, wouldn't be as visually appealing on camera.
Okay.
So it was 4 light beers.
Let's talk about who wore the crown in the game that made you chug 4 beers in your LFR.
For sure. That's when I'm sad. Crown Royal is when I'm feeling classy.
Live generously and life will treat you royally. Why not?
Why not?
Pour yourself and a friend a crown. We're going to talk about who wore the crown, where we crown a Leaf each show who gives it all for the blue and white, because it's not about what you have, but what you have to give. It is our town. It is our crown. Steven Dangle, who wore the crown in that game that you cared so much about?
God damn. That was tough. That was a really tough one. There was only one. Well, there were 2 moments that made me get out of my seat. One was Zach Hyman tying the game. That was pretty cool. But there's something that electrifies a team and a fan base when a guy gets their first goal, especially if it's in their first game. So, Yegor Corshkov, come on down. You get a crown in your first ever NHL game. Game played, a goal, and a crown for Yegor Corshkov. A hell of a goal. I wish he played more.
What'd you call that? That's not a hat trick. It's got to be something else.
It's a triple crown?
I don't think so.
No, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Crownshkov.
Igor
Crownshkov.
Igor.
3 gore.
Ah, you did it.
There we go.
Igor with the 3 gore.
There we go. That's what it is.
Well,
And his agent is just adorable.
his agent?
Oh, yeah, you didn't see this?
Oh, the tweets about tweeting
Yeah,
out.
he tweeted, hey, he got called up. And he deleted it because he wasn't supposed to tweet that. And then Leaf lineups aren't out yet. Hey, he's going to be playing tonight. Dan Milstein.
There's got to be some sort of rule against that, right?
If nothing else, it's got to be like maybe a Leaf rule. Like, hey, man, don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a fine line to walk if you're the Leafs. Because Dubas is probably caught between, hey, man, don't friggin' do that. And also, let's play nice on account of we want Ilya Mikheyev to sign for nothing.
Right. We want a good deal out of this guy. Let's not piss off his agent.
Yeah, so, like, what if you just, like, give us a whole discount? Or, like, what if, hey, I let those 2 tweets slide. Maybe you take off $200,000. I don't think that's how it works exactly,
Right.
but you know what I mean.
The walled garden of The Athletic seems to produce some amazing content.
The walled garden.
It seems to produce some amazing content.
Sure.
This little tidbit comes from Jonas Siegel, dear friend of the show.
Boo!
One interesting revelation from Sheldon Keefe this past week was William Nylander's desire to play some left wing. Nylander said it was the position he played primarily before coming over to North America. So Keefe explained how it's been beneficial for the 23-year-old who's on a 36-goal pace, 36-goal, 70-point pace. I think it really helps on breakouts as one area because when you're playing on your offside, immediately when you get the puck, you're kind of looking to all of your options right where you are. If you're on the strong side and pressure comes, you kind of get blinded by that, and then you're closed off. That can help there. It helps them on the entries to pull-ups and delays and those types of things. Well, this Crown Royal segment is about living generously and life treating you royally.
Absolutely.
What is more generous than switching to your other wing so that the rest of your teammates can get fed the puck easier? That you can enter the zone at a better rate than you already have, even though that's your best skill.
He's literally the best Leaf at it.
Yeah, and he's going to be better now that he's trying to play on his other side. You know what? William Nylander deserves the crown for that.
He's living generously.
He's living generously.
So you're treating him royally.
So I'm treating him royally with a crown this episode.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
So that has been Who Wore the Crown, brought to you always by Crown Royal. Next time when the puck drops, why not? Why not? Pour yourself and your Leafs crew a Crown Royal Old Fashioned. Leafs lose to the Sabres 5-2. 91 seconds, John Tavares' number. 91 seconds is all it took for it to go to 2-2 to 5-2, and all hope lost.
And, guys, I'm starting to think it wasn't Michael Hutchinson. They fold.
Freddie stood on his head.
He was abandoned.
16-5 shots in the first period.
It's weird because the first 10, 12 minutes of the game, I saw the shots and it was 10-4, and I'm like, it doesn't feel that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like the Sabres were dominating the Leafs, really. And then final 5 minutes of the first, I'm like, oh my God, they might actually be in trouble here. Obviously, the second period happens. I saw people tweeting about Freddie. How dare you?
Right.
Listen, I wasn't totally happy with it either. He did allow 5 goals. The team was terrible against him. And people have been throwing a lot of numbers at me. What do the numbers say about getting half the shot attempts as the Buffalo Sabres?
Yeah, if anybody who's in goal that night isn't stopping all those pucks, it's not happening.
No. So, and they were tired because they played the night before and the Sabres had 2 days off. So, wait, for the first 2 periods they were tired. And then when they turned it on, at the beginning of the third period, I'm like, oh my God, they can beat anybody in the league. And then what? And then they weren't. Then they weren't tired then. And then immediately after, they get tired for 90 seconds.
So what do you think that is? Because that's the conundrum of the Leafs team.
It's them being bad.
It's not, because they prove that they're not bad when they have that spurt where you're like, hey, they could beat anybody in the league. So what's this thing that's turning off when they allow 3 goals in 91 seconds?
I think I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing it's the goalies all the time. I have a hard time believing it's Sheldon Keefe. Wasn't he God? I was told he was God. Austin Matthews, then if it's not the goalie and it's not the coach, then you turn to your stars. He is playing the best hockey of his career, and even in bad games, he scores. The other night, I don't even know if it was against the Sens. It was one of his recent games. Maybe it was the Coyotes. I didn't like his game, and then he scored.
He scores every night, no matter what. When he's having a bad night, when he's having a good night, he finds a way to put something back in the net.
Superstar.
It's unbelievable.
Goals I think it was either the 3-2 goal or the 4-2 goal where Okposo just sunned Rasmus Sandin. I believe Rasmus Sandin's going to be a star for this team, but in moments like that, he looks 19.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to tell you other than they don't look like a contender to me.
But they don't look like a contender in those moments.
Those moments, okay.
Are you? So you're on the side of those moments define him?
What does everyone remember about Brad Marchand's playoffs last year? I yelled and screamed about that guy he punched on the Blue Jackets. What was his name? I don't remember who he punched.
Right.
You know what I remember? He friggin' decided to go for a line change with 10 seconds left in the first period of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final for what ended up being the Stanley Cup winning goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad moment. Moments define shifts, define periods, define games, define seasons, define careers.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out. It's been a symptom of the team. Like, they're not young and cute anymore. They still have room to grow, but like, this isn't gosh gee willikers that you've been at this 4 years. Different personnel, different coach, different goalies, different systems, different everything, same shit. I'm getting sick of it. I'm starting to hate watching them.
Did you see what Spezza said post-game?
Hopefully this team sucks.
He said, I don't think you're going to get 60 minutes of dominance many nights, but you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to control things a little better than we did. You can't give up 3 in 131. It's a tough time of year. You've got to drag points out of games. And I'm just in love with Jason Spezza.
Me too.
I think he's so important for the team, and that type of attitude is
Imagine scratching him.
Oh. In the first game.
I know this is starting to become 2013 Game 7 doesn't get brought up as much, and now it's why the fuck did Babcock scratch that guy?
Every game. That's a new square on the bingo, on the SDP bingo. It's Spezza being scratched game 1. I think that's if they can get that mentality about how realizing that these points are important, because it's not about the individual losses. Like last night, it's okay. Yeah. They're still in a playoff spot. There's still runway left in the season. But it's about those losses piling up and stringing together, and that's when it becomes a problem.
It's Buffalo,
right?
It's Buffalo. Like, you lost to a bad team when you see the reaction of the team and the fan base. After this is all they got. The stat that they posted about Jack Eichel now has, out of anyone in the league, the most goals per game against the Leafs, minimum however many games played. He now has the most goals per game against the Leafs, passing Alex Ovechkin.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know how obscure that is? Yeah. Someone was tweeting me the Sabres' all-time record against the Leafs. I'm like, I feel bad you even looked that up. That means nothing's going on in your Sunday. You know it's a holiday today, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you could be chugging 4 beers out of a replica cup. You could be doing anything except sending me that boring shit. And they would be doing anything except that if they didn't cheer for the frigging Sabres. Mm-hmm. I said in the video, I wasn't mad that the Leafs lost to a divisional rival. I was mad the Leafs lost to a team that sucks. And when you lose to enough teams that suck, what does that mean about you? You suck! I don't know. Here's what it is. So I tweeted something last night, and Twitter is 280 characters. The podcast, I can yell and scream as much as I want. So Here it is. The Leafs have not had more power plays than their opponent since the Anaheim game.
Which was when? How many games ago?
Like 5 games ago or something. Yeah. They've had equal amount of penalties in a couple of those games, and in a few, like, they couldn't get a call against the Sabres. I don't think they've had more than a penalty for the past 3 games or something like that. But the games leading up to the Ducks game, like in the Ducks game, they had 5 power plays. The game-winning goal, overtime winner, was a power play goal in overtime. I think it was 5 of 7 leading up to that, someone sent me. The Leafs had more power plays than their opponent. So are the refs jobbing the Leafs? Or have they been playing like shit for the past half dozen games? Or both? It can be both. But they've been playing like garbage. I don't think they deserve to be rewarded for it. I don't know. And like I'm struggling to. I can talk about the Habs versus Bruins thing. I got no skin in that game. I don't care. I do think the Habs kind of got jobbed, or the Stars, that game too. I don't care. No one's gonna call me a biased Habs fan.
I will.
Yeah, but like with the Leafs, I'm like, I can't keep complaining about the officiating. What do you think? It's going to get better in April? No. So cry about it then. Tell it to someone who cares. The league doesn't care.
Right. Their job is to find a way to fight through it and
Yes.
win the games regardless,
We're
especially versus
tired.
bad teams.
I don't care. No one cares.
They have the flu,
Don't care.
injuries.
Don't care.
There's traffic.
Shove it up your... No one cares. No one cares.
They chugged 4 beers last night.
Everyone cares.
Everyone cares.
I got a lot of people like, you all right?
Well, when you do something like that, it's a cause for, hey, you need a hug.
Listen. Yes. Who doesn't want a hug?
At all times.
I want a hug.
Right.
Who doesn't want a hug? I just... they don't look like a contender to me.
Okay.
They might... Hey, look, they might be one.
Yeah.
But like that is what... I mean... it's the leafiest experience ever. I'm watching them dominate the Sabres the first 5 minutes of the third and getting madder and madder every second that passes. Going, where was this? And then they drop it as soon as they tie it, fat and happy, mission accomplished, drop it. They're weak. They're a weak team.
This week, Pittsburgh tomorrow, Tuesday, and Pittsburgh Thursday. Correct?
And they're going to beat them both games.
Is that what
that's the kind of bastard thing this team does to us.
But then you'll be okay.
They're going to spank the Penguins 7-1 both games.
I hope they do.
Yeah, and then lose the next 5. Because fuck you. Like, they drive me nuts. I'm starting to not even enjoy them.
Do you give Jack Campbell 1 game and Freddie 1 game?
Yeah, I don't... Yes, that's probably what I do.
What happens to the fan base if Jack Campbell wins his and Freddie loses his?
We melt down like we always do. Because... Like, I'm sorry. Why is everyone expecting Leaf fans to be well-adjusted and logical about anything? Look at what we've been through.
Right.
It's trash, man. It's... When are we playing Fake Chell?
We'll play Chell.
Yeah, well, so you got your PlayStation hooked up
So,
today.
yeah, update from yesterday.
Fake hockey's never hurt me. That's not true.
I went home and I activated my PS4 as my primary PS4 device, so now I can play offline.
So... To reiterate,
yes,
you had to go home, hook your PlayStation up to the internet, and tell your PlayStation it's a PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, my primary PlayStation.
That's not a thing.
It is.
Who has more than one?
It's people do. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to avoid like, hey, if I signed into my PlayStation account on your PS4, then I couldn't play the games. I was trying to figure it out, but
because you are logged into mine.
Like on am I at your place? Yeah.
You and Adam.
Okay. But like if I signed in as like the primary user on your device, they'd be like, no, your other PS4 is the primary one. So you don't get to play Chell on this PS4 because your other one's your primary one. So
now that you've told your PS4 that it's your PS4,
yeah,
you shouldn't have this problem again?
So now I can play games offline. Yeah.
PlayStation's going to start handing out suspensions.
What's more
how
frustrating,
little sense it makes.
The Leafs or PS4?
The Leafs.
Okay.
The Leafs, for sure.
Do you want to talk a little about Shea Weber?
Yes.
I have a timeline to lay out for you.
Okay.
So, February 12th at 12:52 p.m.
Recently.
February 12th, yes. Nick Kyprios tweets, sources say Shea Weber injury has his season likely over and his future in question. Told injury is related to foot that was surgically repaired in 2018. While waiting for swelling to alleviate and further confirmation, surgery seemed unavoidable going into this week.
So I hear that, and I immediately think of Peter Forsberg.
Yes.
A guy who had more to give, but his foot wouldn't allow him. Legs feed the wolf, and your foot is at the bottom of your leg. It's kind of important, and his sounded like it was boned. That was
February
5
12th,
days ago.
February 12th at 12:52. February 12th, same day, at 4:56. The Montreal Canadiens released a statement. Medical update. Shea Weber expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks with ankle sprain.
Better, still bad.
Okay. Still bad.
Better, still bad. Also, different injury?
Yeah.
Your ankle is not necessarily your foot.
but it's in the area.
It's in the foot area, the foot region. Okay.
February 15th now, around 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night during headlines. Elliot Friedman says, I heard the same rumors as everybody else that this was very serious. I think what really happened was Weber is very private and the Canadians are generally very private, and they just felt that they weren't going to give an update until they knew they were very sure, and they didn't know for sure until 8 days after.
But everyone's dunking on Kyprios. Oh, his career's not over, you big dummy. The Habs themselves said 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The Habs themselves said Weber is going to be out a minimum of a month.
Right.
Then what?
So Elliott did go on to clarify that the injury began on February 4th against the Devils when he appeared to hurt his foot, and he informed the team of the pain the following day. But swelling delayed, and the swelling was so big that they couldn't get an MRI done. So that's
how does he get in a skate?
So that's how much swelling was done. And then finally on February 12th, Weber was finally able to meet with Dr. Robert Anderson. So from the 4th to the 12th, he couldn't get an MRI done because his foot was so swollen.
8 days.
That's crazy.
That's over a week.
Imagine the size of his foot.
Yeah, and he's a man mountain.
So that happens February 15th.
Yes.
Saturday.
Okay.
Now, February 17th. Today. Monday. Around 10:59. Montreal coach Claude Julien says it'll be up to Weber if he wants to play against the Detroit Red Wings. The veteran defenseman was back on the ice Monday, practicing alongside his regular partner, Ben Chariot. What the hell?
2 days ago, he was out 4 to 6 weeks. He might play tomorrow.
Yes, versus Detroit in his regular slot.
I don't get it. What is that from the Habs? Why would they? What is that?
Yeah, what is the 4 to 6 weeks thing?
What are you doing? Gamesmanship with the Red Wings? Like what are you?
Right.
What are you doing? Unless they do have a history of rushing their stars back. Ask Carey Price.
Sure.
Or letting the inmates run the asylum.
I think it's more that side.
If you give a player, especially one with power and influence, Carey Price has that, and Shea Weber, if you give them the option to play, they'll play. Mm-hmm. I really hope this isn't Shea Weber doing something he'll regret.
Do you think it's hey, we can do surgery now, or we can do surgery in the off season? He says, I'll just play through it.
It has to be that.
Right.
It has to be that. How do you go from, unless he was straight up misdiagnosed, which could be a thing, sure doesn't sound like it on account of his foot was or ankle or something in that region,
ankle,
like we
foot,
said.
Lower leg.
Yeah.
Below the waist.
Something in the high top region. You know?
Like Chuck Converse, you know, the high tops.
Yeah, I'm not wearing mine today, but something in that region was so swollen, they couldn't do an MRI for 8 days. Mm-hmm. I don't understand what's going on with Montreal. If they do make the playoffs, which is still possible,
sure,
you got to give him every individual award that he's eligible for.
But it just sounds like he shouldn't be playing because he's injured. Sounds like an injured player is going out there on the ice.
And you're going to risk it all against Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's a good... Is that how disrespected the Red Wings are? That's a we'll see game?
Right.
Go out there. It's like a scrimmage. Yeah, go out there. We'll see how you do. Man.
What's the move here to protect players against themselves? Because you can't tell someone...
Tell them fuck off.
You can't tell someone you can't play if they have the option to, you know? If Shea Weber's options are you can play now, you can play through the injury, or you can sit out, you pick, then he picks to play, you can't tell him no.
I feel like there's a lot of players who have this option in front of them and we just don't know. This reminds me of like the opposite of, do you remember the end of Evander Kane in Winnipeg? Mm-hmm. So there was the famous back on tracksuit incident, and he had a pre-existing, I want to say shoulder injury that he could have got surgery on, but he wasn't getting surgery because he wanted to help the Jets make the playoffs. Well, as soon as he decided he was done with the team, fuck you guys, I'm going to get surgery.
Right.
So he ended his season because he had the option to. This sounds like the polar opposite, but to the point where it seems foolish. Like this, at this stage in his career, you are literally playing with your career here. You're playing with your future.
Yeah.
Against the Red Wings. Like that to me is part of it. This strikes me as extremely unwise.
It's going to be interesting to watch what happens versus Detroit and see him out there.
Oh,
and see
he's
if
going to get a hat trick. You know that, right?
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Do we know which foot?
No, it's the same one that was surgically repaired in 2018. So I can probably look it up.
I don't know which one it is. Well, because if it's his right one, whatever. If it's his left one, it's okay. You can still plant that for a nice little slap shot there.
Right.
That's what he's got. Just post up. You know, you don't even have to get a running start at it. Boom, boom, boom. 3 goals past Jimmy Howard or Jonathan Bernier or whoever the Red Wings are sacrificing to the gods tonight. I don't know what the move is there from Montreal. That strikes me as really dumb.
I'm interested. I hope he makes it through the season. Like, you never want to see a guy's career end on an injury. Like, you want to see a guy go out on his own accord.
I don't think it'll end.
Well, because Nick says, Kipper says his career is over.
Like, I mean, we've heard that in the past. Like, we heard that about Sidney Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, back, I want to say 2011 or 2010. No, it would have been 2011. Oh, yeah.
The concussion?
He's considering retiring.
Right.
I mean, I believe all of that was true. I believe that's got to be a hard one. Whenever I hear a player is debating what to do with their future, I'm like, just retire. Like, your heart's not 100% in it. If you're considering retirement,
it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, unless, I don't know, you can be Justin Williams and just miss half a season and come back ready to murder, which he is. I don't know. I don't know what the game is here, unless it'd be one thing if it was just Kyprios was wrong. The Habs themselves said 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, the thing that happened here was 3 different people were wrong because the medical information wasn't there.
Yeah.
Or they rushed it, and now everything's changed.
This isn't the media. No, the Habs themselves, the team Shea Weber is captain of, 2 days ago, said he was cooked for the next month at least.
And now he's practicing and playing tomorrow. We'll see how he is.
He might not play.
Might not play. It's up to him, is what the quote is, Claude Julien. So we'll see.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun game. We're going to come here next episode and be like, oof, Shea Weber looked great. Hat trick.
Oh, he's going to be great.
Yeah.
He's going to be great. I think he's one of those players that is tough enough that I don't know if we'll see a drop-off. Like, if he does end up getting hurt, I think, he'll finish whatever game it is. And then, by the way, he's out 8 months with surgery or whatever.
Tampa, right after the podcast.
Yes.
Right as soon as I start uploading. Tampa acquires Blake Coleman from New Jersey for Nolan Foote and a 2020 first-round pick, which is Vancouver's first-round pick, and it's conditional. So if Vancouver fails to qualify for the playoffs this year, New Jersey receives Vancouver's first-round pick next year.
I think they're going to make it.
Yeah, so it'll probably be something like the 17, 18 range of the first round, plus Nolan Foote for Blake Coleman. I think it's a great trade. I think New Jersey's doing all the right things here. And I think Blake Coleman's a great player, too. And he's going to slide right into that lineup for next year when
annoying.
They cut salary.
So, what again? The Tampa just keeps getting stronger.
Yeah.
And they acquired, who was it? They acquired Ryan McDonough, and it was JT Miller. But then, finally the dam broke. You got to get rid of one of them. They got rid of JT Miller, and they acquire Coleman, who's this wicked player on a wicked deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave up a lot because they can. What is Nolan Foote going to jump into their lineup tomorrow? I don't think so. Sergachev has taken such ridiculous strides that it's made that even more unlikely. And then the first, Tampa's hoping it's 31st.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, if you're Tampa,
Well,
you've
it's
got to
not.
believe it's that.
It's not their first.
Oh, right.
Right.
Sorry.
It's Vancouver's. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, it's probably, I don't know, hovering around 20th overall, something like that.
But if you look at it, it's 1.8 through next year. Like, that's exactly what they need. He's a top 6 guy on any team.
He makes less than Zach Hyman. He makes less than next year. He's going to make less than Justin Hall.
And he's going to put up 30 goals this year. The
That's
21
stupid.
who might put up 30 goals.
Yeah, you don't know if being on a better team will pick up the pace or slow him down just because he's buried a little bit, but he'll probably win. Jeff Merrick asked a very interesting question on Twitter. Did the Devils get more for Blake Coleman or Taylor Hall?
Do you have the Taylor Hall deal in front of you?
Yes. This is from sportsnet.ca. The New Jersey Devils have traded star Taylor Hall and Blake Spears to the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for a 2020 conditional first-round pick, a conditional 2021 third-rounder, along with forward prospects Nate Schnarr, Nick Merkley, and defenseman Kevin Ball, who you might remember from the World Juniors. And a couple details there. The 2020 first-round pick from Arizona in the Taylor Hall trade is top 3 protected and converts to 2021 if that were to happen. And the Devils retained 50% of Taylor Hall's $6 million cap hit, which is hilarious that he makes $6 million. Guy won MVP a couple years ago.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, to me, the way it's projecting, Nolan Foote should be better than any of them. Any of the prospects they got for Taylor Hall.
Yeah,
it sounds like the first rounder might be better too.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about those 3 guys, those forward prospects and the defensemen.
Ball's Giants, but like, is he today's NHL? I don't know. And I made a video about this and I don't remember much about Merkley or Schnarr. They might have got more for Coleman.
Yeah.
And that was the first big, if I'm not mistaken, Ray Shero made the Hall trade. He got fired, and now it's whoever's in charge of the Devils, I'm not sure, made this one.
Also, the salary retention, that $30 million isn't nothing.
No, it's not nothing, especially like for the Devils, right? Like, they're notoriously kind of a cash-poor team. It's not nothing, and I wonder if that's part of why Shero got canned. It's not just we're losing. We spent a lot of money this summer, and we still suck. And now you're trading away our stars, and that's costing us money. Yeah, you know what? You're fired, bud.
It's funny because if you're doing the Taylor Hall deal now, and you said, hey, I'll give you the deal you got for Coleman, you'd probably be like, no, throw in something else. You know, it probably wouldn't be enough. But then looking at what they got for Hall, you're like, they didn't even get that.
But it's like how I defended Vegas for the Tatar trade, which was awful. It was a terrible trade. They got Tatar, who they didn't even like, for a first, second, and third. But Vegas had such a cartoony amount of stuff, like a cartoony amount of picks. They still haven't gotten their second rounder that they got for taking Fleury.
It's crazy.
Stupid. It's ridiculous.
So they didn't need to get a good package.
Right.
Or they didn't need to give up, like, they could give up extra, is what you're saying.
Arizona doesn't have resources to just throw away. Tampa does. Like, it's friggin' Wolf of Wall Street fun coupons. Yeah. Trade Nolan Foote. We got another prospect named Foote. We got his brother. Like, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
First round pick, whatever. I wonder if it was pitched, hey, we'll trade you both feet. We'll trade you both Foote brothers.
How dare you?
It should have
How
been.
dare you?
That'd be interesting.
How dare you?
That's fun.
I know.
Yes.
No.
Both feet.
That is a dirty joke.
Why?
Are both of our show titles going to be feet related? Is this one going to be called Dirty Feet? And then we're going to back to back. We're going to have nice shoes and then dirty feet.
I don't think it was knife shoes. I think it was knife feet.
Knife. Oh, I labeled it knife shoes.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
my
Well,
bad.
you're the one
Was
who
it
did
supposed
it, so
to be
you would
knife
know.
feet?
I don't
It was
remember.
knife shoes.
Here's how we usually name the episodes, by the way. I start walking away and Jesse goes, title! And I go, and I say the first stupid idea that comes to my head.
This is the stupid thing I said on the show.
Here it is.
Yeah, if you look at it, 2 first-round picks is basically what they got for Blake Coleman.
Yes.
You got 1 for Taylor Hall plus 3 maybes and a third. Or were any of Nate, Nick, or Kevin drafted in the first round? Do you remember?
I think
Probably a lot to look
Merkley
up,
might have been. Ball was a second, I'm pretty sure. Nick Merkley.
This is why we need 3 of us here. So
I know.
Merkley was round 1, 30th overall in 2015.
2015.
Yeah,
And this year he's in the AHL. Since he joined the Binghamton Devils, he's got 18 points in 21 games. That's pretty good. So, I don't know.
It's pretty close.
The Devils are doing the right thing, though.
Yeah, I applaud the Devils for tearing it down. And they still have like the PK trade to make. I think that's
Yeah, they're not. Oh my God, the PK Wayne Simmons, I want to say, is on 1 year. Vatanen is another name I keep hearing thrown around all the time. This is the right thing to do.
Yeah, because if you tear it down, the right way to do it is scorched earth. You know, you don't halfway tear it down. You tear it down.
Yeah,
and that's what it seems like they're doing.
And then it's Nico Heischer's team and Jack Hughes' team and whoever they get very high this year. Listen, someone's got to challenge the Sens, who might pick first and second here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and then you look at the guys they got now, like Severson and Butcher, even Connor Carrick. Like, he can stick around. Still young enough.
He's Guy.
You know, he's Guy.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, his coffee's probably good.
Yeah, that's got to be a tough one for Carrick. Like, you know your team's going to suck, but my ice time's probably going to go up. Like, I don't know.
Right.
That's a tough one.
Anyways, I really like what the Devils are doing right now.
Yes, which is, I mean, make peace with the fact that you stink. The worst thing you can do is fight the fact that you stink.
Mm-hmm. And so many teams, that's what so many teams try and do all the time.
They fight it. Sometimes you stick it out. There are the Blues were a great example. But the Devils, I mean, the Blues were good and then mysteriously stunk. The Devils stunk, added some guys, and still stunk. Like, there was something wrong. And they're rebuilding the right way.
I know you're itching to get your hands on the controller.
I am.
I can see you itching and looking to play. But we have one more thing to get to.
Sure.
We got to talk about Michael Russo's bomb once again.
Okay, so I don't know this, and I'm excited to know this. Sometimes I intentionally deprive myself of information just to learn it live on the show.
So Michael Russo of The Athletic, the one who previously wrote the article about the crazy saga going on in Minnesota and Paul Fenton's tenure.
He should have just called the article "Paul Fenton Sucks," because that's what I came away with.
So he got to go to Minnesota, Delwood, Minnesota, and sit down with Bruce Boudreau and his wife, Crystal.
Okay.
So he sat down with them, and he just talked about what it's like to get fired. And it's fascinating.
And he's been fired a big old bunch of times.
I think he said it was his 10th team professionally that he's coached. And he's not with any of those teams anymore.
No, I know the Ducks fired him, the Caps fired him. So he must have been fired a bunch of other times.
Right.
I don't remember. Obviously, the Wild.
3 in the NHL.
Yep.
But yeah. And then, so there's a couple standout quotes, though. The first one being, it was funny because Bill came in and he shut the door, and as soon as he shut the door, I knew. You just know, right? And he says, I'm going to make a change. And I instantly said, are you firing me? Just like that. And he goes, yes. I said, are you fucking kidding me? And then Boudreau, he goes and he storms out. He goes to his assistants and the other guys, and he goes, I just got fired. He gives the guys a hug. He goes to the director, gives him a hug. He says, I just got let go. And he walks out.
I want to know everything about Bruce Boudreau.
Right?
I really do.
You learn a lot in this article because he sits down with his family. It's fascinating.
I got to read this thing. Well, okay.
So, and then it says, Guerin agonized over the decision for a few weeks, discussed it for some time with Leopold, and finally called Leopold into his office around 9 a.m. on Friday to explain his reasoning and get the final go-ahead before driving a couple blocks from Wild headquarters to Tria Rink. So Guerin's thinking about this for a couple weeks.
Well, and during that couple weeks, though, they go like, what was it, 7-3?
7-3-1. Their best stretch in the entire season. You just traded Zucker. The team looks like it's coming around, and he's still thinking about firing Boudreau.
Yeah.
And then last Friday, Valentine's Day, he says to Leopold, I'm going to do this. And he gets the go-ahead. And then Boudreau goes, are you fucking kidding me?
And it was on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Can I just say, so congratulations to whoever got to cover that in Minnesota, because the Leafs, I want to say they traded Chris Versteeg to the Flyers on Valentine's Day. And I got to be on the conference call. I was only like 22. I got to be on the conference call because all the reporters were like, whatever, it's Valentine's Day, I'm out. So it is significant that he was fired on Valentine's Day. I wonder if, you know how sometimes they'll release news at like 5 on a Friday?
Right.
To sort of bury it? I wonder if a Valentine's Day firing is like just a jacked up version of that.
Plus, it's a Friday.
And it was a Friday.
Double
it's like
Jeopardy.
Super Friday. Very interesting. So I wonder, I'd be curious to know if a younger or less experienced person from Minnesota got to benefit from that.
Yeah, I got to
or
cover
covering
this
the
story.
Wild.
That would be cool.
A young up-and-comer like Michael Russo, for sure.
Boudreau said, no matter how many times it has happened, no matter how much you know, it'll eventually happen. You're never, ever fully prepared.
I'm glad that he had the same reaction as most of hockey Twitter. Are you fucking kidding me?
We sat here and we outlined all those things, and we're like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, they're heating up. This isn't when you do it.
It seems to be a case of the GM wanting his own guy. Is how Russo paints the picture is the GM wants to hire his coach.
But when? Because the assistant is finishing out the season.
He said the offseason.
Why not wait?
That's a very good question.
Are you seeing... Guerin must be seeing something we're not, and Boudreau is clearly just instilling some sort of garbage into the Wild, according to Guerin, that we just don't see. Otherwise, I don't see a point to what he did. What's the point? If you're obviously going to bring in your guy in the offseason, which is fine, do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But to fire him mid-season, you're actively going, I want this guy away from the team. So what's that about? What's that about this fascinating coach who is very openly still cheering for the Leafs?
A little bit.
Bruce Boudreau's a huge Leaf fan and like pretty open about it still. He was a regular season god in Washington. He was a regular season god in Anaheim. He's riding the ship with the Minnesota Wild, which last summer didn't seem like a thing they could do.
He made the playoffs twice, I believe, with the team, didn't he?
And
Lost in the first round
this
both,
year
but
might have.
yeah.
And has a, what is it? He's like 0-7 or 1-7 in game sevens in his NHL coaching. Like that's, how does that work?
Yeah. If a puck bounces a different way a couple times, his entire career is different.
But like, I don't even know about a puck bouncing because I want to say the first Crosby Ovechkin game 7, that series was so good. Game 7, the Pens won 6-1.
Right.
So and the fact that he had that reaction and was so open about it the next day or 2 days later. This guy's one of the most fascinating people in the sport. Yeah, and I hope someone hires him right away.
He said
he's so fun.
If there's a job open tomorrow, he's taking it. He said he wants to be back coaching as soon as possible.
So what jobs are open?
Where do you think Boudreau lands?
You know who I think has an interim coach right now, and it'd be really interesting to see him there because this team needs something, whatever the hell that is. San Jose.
Okay.
But they're packed in. Yeah. Carlson's done. Hurdle's done. Couture, I think, is done.
What about the Seattle Kraken? Do they have a coach yet?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it starts a new franchise. That'd be a good job.
That'd be a lot of fun. I think it was John Shannon tweeted, like, boy, Ron Francis doesn't have a lack of options here.
Right.
You know, he could go Babcock. He could go Boudreau. He could go... has Gallant found a team yet?
No. I think Babcock would be great for an expansion team. Just seeing what he did in 2016.
Well, you want to talk about as fresh a start as you can possibly get? How about a team with no players?
Right.
You literally can't get fresher than that. And you know what? That That is, I think, a great fit. That's a great point, Jesse. I think because he obviously needs a redo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if what he did was so bad he should never coach again. Bill Peters should never coach again. Babcock, hey man, be less of a nut. Like, be less of an asshole. No one in the whole saga of whatever with him said Mike Babcock is a bad coach.
No.
He's a bad manager of personalities. He's got a huge ego. Fine. Red Wings fans, holy shit. You warned us about all of it, and we just didn't see it. Yeah, we're sorry.
They tried to warn us for years.
I remember just being like, man, that's what happens when you're in one place for too long. Like, people just get so gosh darn mad at you. Like, relationship sour, whatever. This guy is good enough to be a coach in the NHL. He needs to hit the reset button, and what better way to do that than with a team that has no players?
He gets to instill a culture that's Babcock culture, hopefully turn down like 35% and not to the making lists level.
Yeah.
But like a culture of hard work and dedication and winning, like that's what he wants to create, right? And if he can do that with a fresh group of guys, it should be successful.
I will say this, though. So Lucic recently came out and said some things that sort of made it look like, the Flames weren't huge fans of Bill Peters. And there was obviously what Akeem Alou said, but we're forgetting that caught up on the Hurricane side of things when he was accused of like kicking players and stuff was the Hurricanes GM at the time, Ron Francis. So I think he's going to want to go squeaky clean. It'd be great for Babcock. I think it's a terrible idea for Francis, probably.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, like you're not, and like they're best friends, like Peters and Babcock supposedly.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I think that rules him out. Then
it's got to be Gallant or Boudreau. Is Laviolette available too?
He is. Yeah,
there's a lot of coaches.
It's a good
How
option.
about this? Well, I was gonna say, damn the hockey men and boys club and think outside the box. Boudreau and Gallant are pretty good coaches. Like,
recycle the same guys.
You can recycle good ones.
All right.
Recycling is there's a reason we all have blue bins. Like, I don't know. That is a fascinating little wrinkle.
Well, I highly recommend everyone out there with a subscription to go read Michael Russo's article on visiting Boudreau and his wife in Minnesota. It's very fascinating.
Yeah, and then go read sportsnet.ca and click all the ads.
And then go read tsn.ca and click all the ads.
Yeah, but third.
All right, you ready?
Yes. Can I go to the bathroom first?
Yes, let's pause. You go to the bathroom, and then I'll get NHL set up.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
So, as I put my glasses on so we can play Chell. Which camera's on? Which one should I look at? Anyway, we actually have another update in the Shea Weber thing.
Let's hear it.
So this is from Nick Kyprios. He posted this to his Instagram and he tweeted it out as well. To Shea Weber and the Montreal Canadiens organization. Last week, I sent out a tweet to further advance the story of Shea's injury. While I was able to properly identify his injured foot and speak of the swelling while awaiting further confirmation, it was not my intent to mislead anyone about his immediate future. My primary objective was to report on the Canadiens' serious concerns going into the week. After time to reflect, I understand how portions of my tweet added unnecessary stress to Shea, his family, and the team. While I still stand by the information that I received, I'd like to apologize to Shea and the Canadiens for not choosing my words with more sensitivity. I wish Shea a speedy recovery. Nick Kyprios.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he's going to get his wish of a speedy recovery.
Yeah, it looks like it's already happening.
Tomorrow. But that is bizarre. And, like, he's not admitting that he was wrong because he says he stands by his information. Like, Nick Kyprios didn't pull this out of his ass.
No, he got a report, and it was premature because they hadn't done the MRI, is what it sounds like. Or
Right.
at least they had done the MRI, and the results were not great, or or inconclusive. And it sounds like as more information came out, then they got the actual medical reports. But he clearly had the information correct at the time. It's just it changed.
This still doesn't explain how the Habs said he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
That
2 days ago
is a whole different story because that's the team. Maybe they rushed that after they saw Caprios's report.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's a strange one, man. Want to run some chow?
We're gonna run some chow. So for everybody listening right now, we're in our studio and we've hooked up NHL 20 to our TV in the studio, and we're gonna play while Steve answers some Twitter questions. So if you want to go watch this, head to our YouTube channel. If you just want to listen, you're listening right now.
There you go.
All right. So first question comes from NHL Chunky.
What are we playing, by the way?
Let's play threes. Set up NHL threes. We'll play
we
each other in threes.
All right.
All right. So first,
My controller won?
I am.
Oh, okay. Good.
First question comes from NHL Chunky. If someone births 3 kids, they're usually called triplets, right? If a 4th kid is birthed, are they still triplets? The answer is no.
They are quadruplets.
4 goals is not a hat trick.
You bastard.
Thank you, NHL Chunky.
How do you want to pick teams? You want to do 3 random?
2 randoms, and they get to pick which one, or you suicide. That's how I play with my friends. So you get 2 randoms. So you hit square. So no all-stars, so that's a cancel.
So I got Vegas.
So you got Vegas.
And Pacific All-Stars.
No, that doesn't count. So you could do another one.
Sens.
So you get Vegas or Sens, or you can suicide, and you hit square again. So I got Ducks and Panthers.
Do you have a preference?
Let me check the Ducks stat again. So I'm going to check the Ducks stats. I'm going to go with Ducks, so I'm not going to choose my suicide.
All right, I'm going to go VGK.
You're going to go Vegas? All right.
Yeah.
This next question comes from...
Look at their offense. 96?
That's unbelievable.
Holy shit. Okay.
Gord Hardy wants to know, what team should we cheer for in the playoffs if and when the Leafs don't make it?
Ooh. First I'm going to do heads, tails. So I won. You want to do goal limit? 5?
What are my options?
Goal limit of 5, win
Or
by
tie.
2, money puck.
Yeah, let's do that.
You like this?
You select the rules. You won the toss.
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
Sportsmanship and all
So
that.
who do you cheer for if the Leafs don't make it? Who are you cheering for this year?
That's a tough one. It's weird. I didn't like the Oilers on account of their fans are mean to me. But I'm starting to actually like fall in love with their story a little bit. Excuse me. How often do I sneeze on the show? I don't know. The Canucks I've sort of been bullish on all year. But again, like I can't cheer for a Canadian team to win the cup before the Leafs because I just know it's going to be a bad time for all involved. You know what's going to be a really bad time for me, but I think they'll take it with good humor? If the Penguins win. We talk so much crap about that team. And for Sidney Crosby to win when everyone's doubting him again. And moreover, Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah.
And Mike Sullivan and throw Murray in the garbage, you know.
Especially a season where there's so many injuries too.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
They're number 1 in the league in wins above replacement lost, obviously on account of Sidney Crosby's decent in hockey. Oh, I'm the away team. I'm gonna get killed. Oh no. Do you have any?
This sucks as audio for
Yeah.
anybody.
Do you have any more
listening.
questions?
I do.
And I'll try to run it.
I'm going to get another question up.
Yeah, get a question up and then
All right, this is a really good one from Freddie_Anderson. We paused the game.
Sure.
So we can answer this. Who would you have taken on your mentor trip?
Okay.
So answer that and then explain why while we play.
Great.
Go ahead.
That is actually a really difficult one. I've had the good fortune of many mentors throughout my career. And you probably read about a bunch of them in the book. Gino Reda was one. He was my first boss at my first paid gig. in hockey, Shea Theodore.
Steve scored us up 1-0 in threes.
No, I think that was a money puck.
Oh, it was up
2.
2-0 because apparently that goal counted for 2.
Ooh, that is a very tough one. Dave Cadeau, who is in charge of Sportsnet 590, The Fan, got me my job at Sportsnet, even though I'm not still on the radio side. I don't know, but like, my dad can be my mentor, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I'd probably have a tough time not bringing my dad. My dad or my mom.
After all of that?
Yeah, I know.
You settle on your dad or your mom?
Yeah, well, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Oh!
Right.
Oh! Ew! If I can pull a Nasher. Ew!
Steve scored again
Jesse.
in threes. I am barely paying attention. This game
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
that's why you're
warm-up.
losing, right?
It's a warm-up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a warm-up?
It's definitely a warm-up.
Yeah, but when you start winning, that means you're paying
It's
attention,
definitely
right?
not a warm-up when I start winning.
You know what? I'm just looking at all those money pucks after this goal. I'm going to get a 4-0 lead right here, and Jesse's going to win it. Watch. Oh, up to the point. What?
Here, I have to get another question up.
Okay.
You have the puck, so you got to hit pause.
Oh, you want me to pause?
Yeah.
There you go.
So you settle on your dad or your mom?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. I would answer the same thing. I would say my dad, just because he's the one who, like, growing up as a kid, he's the one who took me to every practice, to every game. He's the one who taught me how to love sports, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I just feel like I don't know if you read the book, you know a little bit about my family history and everything, but like my dad didn't get to do a whole bunch when I was a kid, and he wasn't physically fit, right? He might be in better shape now, in his 60s, and mom was a mom, right? That was her primary job, and everything else was just to help pay the bills, right? So it would have to be one of them. I feel like, and also they had such a disappointing son athletically. They never got to experience any of that fun stuff. So, yeah, I'm thinking about this as if I'm me and not I'm me in the NHL.
Right.
I'd bring my mom or my dad.
This one's from Dua Zara.
Oh, yeah. From
Do you
Ryerson.
think
What up?
Kyle Dubas forces the team to collectively get their flu shots next season?
Oh, my God. Here, you want to play?
Yeah, let's hit resume.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you make millions of dollars. You make millions of dollars. We pay you millions of dollars. So that's got to be a penalty shot. Hell yeah. We want you in the damn lineup, but we're also pretending like influenza is the, oh my God, I went backwards. Oh my God, I went backwards. I'm an idiot. We're pretending like influenza is the only illness you can get, which it's just not. So we have no idea what the Leafs got or how bad it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because
you also can't force them.
right.
I just don't know. Like, is it in a sports atmosphere like that, in a dressing room, is it possible to keep an entire locker room of disgusting boys from getting sick? There, you can prevent them from getting stupid shit like the mumps. Which, stop sharing water bottles, you gross, disgusting boys. But here, I'm gonna switch out Shea Theodore. I'm gonna go full send with Jonathan Marchessault on defense.
Nice.
Let's go.
Because you've been hammering this point a lot on your videos about the team sickness and how you excuse like the Dallas game for that, and how just when you're in a locker room with a bunch of guys, if one person's sick, everyone's probably going to get sick.
Probably.
But that's a reality, right? And it's just another obstacle you got to face when you're playing at the NHL level.
Yeah, like all things are equal. It's not like the Leafs are the only team that have had the flu bug. It sounds like they're one of the worst. Sounds like the Canadian teams got it pretty bad. Montreal got it pretty bad too. I mean, I look at it like that's sort of up to the team's training staff, but like you're not responsible for these guys when they go out, and you're not responsible for. There's just too many aspects to a player's life. You just have no control over. They're flying all the time. Like forget the locker room. Like, how do you stay sanitary on a plane?
Right.
If one guy coughs, you're all boned.
Yeah, even if you have your own jet, you know?
Yeah, like I was so stressed out flying from, Jesse's on the board. I was so stressed out flying home from Charlotte because someone just kept coughing the whole time. And I'm like, cool, I guess I'm sick now. So now we got a double money puck, and if I score here, it's over. Oh, shit. But if Jesse scores, it's tied. Oh! I almost scored on myself. That was bad. And I left the puck behind. That's also bad. Oh, no. Here, do you want to get another question up?
Sure.
Okay. I'll pause it. Mark Stone's about to get killed.
This is from
oh, my God. He's about to get creamed.
Hockey Lake 72.
Okay.
Can we talk more about how Leon Draisaitl is having 8 more points than Jamie Benn's Art Ross season in only 59 games? Let's talk about the Oilers and Draisaitl and McDavid and how crazy of a season they're having.
Sure. I mean, oh, no. I just gave it right to Jesse. Oh, off the goal line. Yeah, a lot of people I've seen pointing that out. I think that's two-pronged. That's Draisaitl is having an unbelievable season, and hockey has gotten better. Like when Jamie Benn led the league with 87 points, that was a friggin' disgrace. Like you have a league, when was the last time, or how often in hockey's history have there only been like 5 point a game players, which is basically what we had. Right back then. But also for Draisaitl to have more than 87 points in, 59 games?
59 games.
That's absurd. That's stupid. And he's already proving, what are the Oilers, 2-1 without McDavid?
Yeah.
They're clearly proving that it wasn't, like he's not a byproduct of McDavid. I'm sure it helps.
Right.
I'm sure playing with, here, let's maybe get another one before we start the next period.
Sure.
But I'm sure it helps, but like, come on. Draisaitl is clearly good. 3rd overall pick. Probably should have gone first. Because that was 2014. I was at that draft. That was Aaron Ekblad went first. And I want to say Sam Reinhart went second. 3rd, you get Draisaitl. Like the Oilers, out of all their first overall picks, you should probably add Draisaitl to the list because he should have gone first that year. It's like they got back-to-back with him and McDavid back-to-back drafts. That's some real Crosby-Malkin stuff. Only 1 pick off.
This is from Leafs 6. 6 is 6IXX because, of course. Come up with a hypothetical forward trade and a D trade for the Leafs before the deadline.
Let's go.
Can you do that?
Yes.
That's a hard one.
I'm going to try. So the Leafs acquire a forward and also a D.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to... Oh, Jesse tied it up with a money puck. Okay, what do the Leafs need up front?
Yeah, for anybody listening, the score is now 3-3. I am the Ducks. Steve is the Golden Knights, and we're playing threes.
You got to...
Next goal wins.
Oh, yeah, because it's a money puck. Oh,
Yeah,
God. You got to... It depends on what you want, right? So I look at the Leafs, and what do they need? Size and snarl and whatever. Okay, I get it.
Oh,
To me, I think a third-line center would actually be nice. Because what are your options right now? Spezza? I don't think I love him as the third-line center all the time. Oh, Fleury! And I just threw it away. Oh, no. Fleury again. Spezza.
2-0.
Engvall. Yeah! Mark Stone! Get in!
Steve just won on a 2-0 break after I had a one-timer in the clear and Fleury stopped it.
That was all Fleury.
Damn.
That was every Vegas playoff run. It was just Fleury.
Let's set
I
up
feel
a new
like
game.
they could use a third line center, but I'm trying to think of like who's even available. I feel like the answer is almost always Nick Bonino. Every year, he seems to be either available or already on a contender.
That's really what you're looking for? A third line center?
Well, up front though,
Okay.
because I got to come up with one up front.
Oh, okay.
Because otherwise, like on the wings, I don't know. I'm not too worried. I'm really not worried. I'm more worried about just like getting the most out of them every night. But I do feel like the Leafs' depth is a strength, even though we focus, a lot on the top two lines, which are great, but we're forgetting that Kerfoot's part of that. So Kerfoot is not even a pure center. Engvall's not necessarily a pure center at the NHL level. Spezza is 36. Like, that's the sort of thing I think I'd like. You already got Clifford. If the center you get is a tough nut as well, that definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
On D, shit, I'm just looking for anything. I'm looking for stops. I want stops. So I had choice between the Oilers. Oh, and mascots. Is that an option?
Do you want to play mascots?
Well, because that's one of the ones I got.
Oh, no. Team mascots is not
Okay,
an
so
option.
I'm on Oilers and Devils. You know what? We're going to go Oilers.
I suicided the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
If you
No,
saw.
I'll do it too.
Oh.
All-Stars. Avalanche. There
That's
you
not
go.
bad. All right, let's go.
Both our offenses are 100.
And the goalies 81. It's a pretty fair matchup.
Yeah. On D, Jesus. I'm looking for... You know what? You know who I'm starting to give more slack to?
Select the arena.
The more people, I don't know, Staples Center, sure. The more people give flack to this player, the more slack I'm giving them. Mm-hmm. Tyson Barrie has such a hard job on this team because Dermott is a frigging wild card. I never know what he's going to do.
So you've turned a page on Tyson Barrie.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Okay, because it's only been a couple days since we were all not on the Tyson Barrie train.
He's still very frustrating.
Yeah.
But I just feel like that pairing is awful. They're terrible. They don't work together. And I think a big part of that is never knowing where Travis Dermott is going to be any given moment.
It frustrates me that whenever the puck goes to Barrie at the blue line, we know what it's going to be. And it feels like a black hole because it's always just going to be shot towards the net. Does that not frustrate you?
No, of course it does. And it's concerning when you almost always know what a player is going to do.
And then he does it?
That's part of the reason Nylander has become so dangerous this year is he doesn't always do the same bloody thing anymore, that sort of curl back. And when he does, he made a guy fall down yesterday. It was hilarious. But like Kapanen, you always know what he's going to do on the rush, even though he has... Oh, snipe from Jesse.
I am up 1-0. We started a new game. It's Florida Panthers versus the Avalanche. I'm the Panthers. Panthers up 1-0 for anybody listening.
So Kapanen's got that special skill set, but it's never good. Oh my God, McKinnon's dead. It's never good when you know what a player is going to do every single time. But I just want stops. I just want a tough prick who can actually stand in front of the net and do stuff. Like I was. Here's how desperate I was. When I saw Zach Bogosian got put on waivers, I texted Berkshire. I'm like, he sucks, right? Like, just to make sure.
Yeah.
So, and what's funny is I actually think he would have been a somewhat decent candidate because the Leafs have this cap space. He doesn't cost them an asset. And supposedly, like, by and large, he does suck. But he can defend in tight. And he is a borderline criminal when it comes to violence in front of the net. Could he keep it together for a couple months while the Leafs are trying to get into the playoffs and then also do stuff in the playoffs?
Do you remember at the beginning of the year when you were yelling, just punch somebody in the face?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do we still feel that way?
Yes.
It feels like that feeling has never gone from this team, that they still don't have some sort of, it's not toughness, because I feel like that's kind of being weeded out of the game, but just not to be pushed around. Just play a little harder on the puck.
Yeah, no, that's definitely it. And, like, smack a guy in the face. Like, dude, we see so much crap between whistles in the playoffs. Like, look at... Did you see what Pavel Buchnevich, Cale Makar?
Steve scored. It's now 1-1 Avalanche in Florida.
You not see what Pavel Buchnevich did to Brad Marchand?
No.
Oh, sorry. Wait, were you looking down? My bad.
That's okay.
Oh, and you almost scored. What Buchnevich did to Marchand?
No.
Marchand cross-checks someone right in the back, like he always does. Third man in, like he always does. I just gave Jesse a money puck there, so now it's 2-0 for me.
Crap.
It was a negative money puck. There's not a lot of money pucks in this game.
No.
There is a negative one over there, though. Oh, no! So Jesse's on the board. That's 2-1. And I think if you score the next one, it's a -2.
Oh.
So you could go up 2-0, even though it's 2-1 for me.
Right. Even though technically it's 2-2.
Oh, no, it's -1. No, yeah, Marchand, cross-check, after the whistle, third man in. Classic. It's what he does every friggin' day. Buchnevich just drills him. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a cross-check. It's from behind. It's clearly not allowed. But they're doing it too, so screw it. Like, you might as well send the message. Like, listen, the NHL and George Peros have sent a message loud and clear. We want violence still in the game. We're going to keep it in the game. Frigging deal with it. So, you went the direction that hockey was going, which is smaller, faster, more skilled. And that was great. And that was smart. The league in the regular season now is turning more violent, and there's less accountability. It's only going to get worse in the playoffs. Go get you a psycho. Like, go get you a complete nut who is a borderline criminal. Like, why not? Why not?
My only thing is, if I were Dubas, I wouldn't be trying to get a psycho. I would be trying to triple down on your strategy that you're doing now. One thing,
what a save.
I was listening to a podcast recently with Bill Simmons. He's a basketball guy.
I know Bill Simmons.
Owns the Ringer Network. He was talking to Steve Nash about the Phoenix Suns from the late 2000s, the last decade, the crazy Suns team that were just taking threes and running up and down the court.
Was that Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash?
Yeah. So Nash was saying what he wishes the Suns did was that he wishes they had just pushed it even further. Because they were doing this thing and it never worked. They never won a championship. But he wishes they had just tripled down on their strategies and that they had gone and they'd started playing basketball the way it's being played now, where everybody's just taking 1,000,000 threes a game.
Well, isn't that what the Golden State Warriors did?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to exclusively do that. We're going to have so many weapons that you can't guard us.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if it's the right thing for the Leafs to do to hey, we're going to try and match everybody else in this way. Why not, hey, we're doing this skill thing, we're trying this out where we're paying all of our forwards, all our skill forwards, this ridiculous amount of money to go be skill forwards. Why not just keep going in that direction? Why not keep going and getting guys like Tyson Barrie who are shoot-first defensemen, and why not just go get more skilled forwards?
Matt Dumba.
And why not go get Matt? I keep
That's
saying
what
why
I
not.
said, though.
Matt Dumba seems like the guy if you want to go that route. I'm so here for that.
He just seems like a good fit. Like, no, it's like I said, there's no move they can make that'll make them this great defensive team. There is no move.
So abandon that.
Get a right-hand defenseman who can play frigging hockey, score goals, and Matt Dumba is not a pushover, and he's got some really big hits on his resume. It's a really good fit if the deal is there. I just don't know if it's there.
Right. See, I'm all for getting Matt Dumba. Who wouldn't want Matt Dumba on their team? It's just, it doesn't make sense for Minnesota to give him up, and it doesn't seem like Toronto has the assets to acquire him.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a double-edged knife.
You have another question before we start?
Yeah, next question can be from Nick77 Kippers. I don't know how to pronounce that. He says, worst case scenario, the Leafs don't make the playoffs. What's one drastic and team-altering move you would make? What's your Kawhi to the Raptors move for the Leafs?
Damn. All right, let's go.
All right, let's do that while we play the next period of threes. Steve's up, 3-0? You got a couple money pucks, so you eliminated my goals.
Oh, my God. What am I doing? Landeskog, get out of here. Kadri, get out of here. Nice. Oh, my God. I don't even have Rantanen in my lineup, but I got Makar. Holy shit. The Avs are stacked. Can I put Rantanen in net?
Do your thing.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, Nas. Hey, I miss you. Miss you, pal.
All right. I got to come back here.
Come on, pal.
Let's do this.
So my big drastic move.
Yeah, let's just pie in the sky. Leafs completely bomb the rest of the season. Don't make the playoffs.
Oh,
Who are you
shit.
trading?
That's not
What
what I
move
meant
you
to do.
making?
So I feel like I'm being goaded. Oops. I'm being goaded into talking about the big four. Matthews,
That's what it sounds like.
absolutely not. There's Marner. There's Nylander. There's Tavares. I just don't see how. We just had a conversation about doubling down on the strategy. And I don't see how you possibly win a trade trading any of those guys. And they're all, with the exception of Tavares, who is in his prime, they are all going to get better. Marner will be better next year than he is this year, barring injury. Same with Matthews, same with Nylander. Like, the roof on those guys is absolutely ridiculous. I think what you got to do is, like, when you spend that much money on those guys,
Steve scored. So, 4-0, Steven.
When you spend that much money on those guys, you sort of make peace with the fact that you cannot afford to have third liners making $3 million and up, right? Oh, Kale McCarr. Do you have Bobrovsky in net?
I don't know.
He's garbage.
I wasn't paying attention
Yeah.
to who was in net.
You're
I
sort
was
of-
trying to win.
You're making peace with the fact that you can't afford those players. So, like, I've been trying to picture the Leafs fully healthy. And the name we keep forgetting is Mikheyev. Someone's got to go. And if I'm not mistaken, Mikheyev, really fast, killed penalties, and I'm pretty sure played the right wing. Like, I remember that line that they tried for a little bit before he got hurt was Tavares centering Mikheyev on the right and Engvall on the left. I'm pretty sure. I think all signs point to Kapanen getting moved.
Yeah?
My problem
But-
is just you can't move him for nothing.
That wouldn't be now, would it? Because
Could be whenever you want. And honestly,
because I
could-
think with Janssen out, I thought that took that off the table.
No.
No.
They have losing Kapanen should not sewer your whole friggin' season with the talent that you have. And going back to a previous question.
Can I use the washroom while you do this?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Going back to a previous question. Am I the road team?
You earned home by winning.
Oh, okay. Going back to a previous question about definitely not using the Bruins. Susan. Avs again. No, that's boring. Blackhawks, sure. Losing Kapanen would hurt the penalty kill, for sure. I don't even know what camera's on. Losing Kapanen would definitely hurt the penalty kill. But how about we get a pure center who can play on the penalty kill, who's not Freddie freaking Gauthier, who's not even going to be in the lineup every night. He'd be really good. But if you want a trade that I think is high value for the other team and you can get something for them, I think you got to look at Kapanen's got to go, and that alleviates a little bit of cap problems. And honestly, maybe moving on from Dermott. I hate that. He seems like a great guy. Seems like he loves being a Leaf. Seems like he's got all kinds of potential and all the talent in the world. But I think that's a decent package towards getting something. So, Jesse, what I just told them was I would consider a package of Kapanen and Dermott that could get you something to significantly improve the back end. You got to give something to get something. Kapanen is not going to move the meter enough, I don't think. And you're going Swedish League?
No.
I'll go European League with you.
Let's go NHL teams.
Yeah, all right.
I'll go back.
Which team is Cam Wynot on? Is he on the Mooseheads? I want to be them.
Did you randomize to Blackhawks?
Yes, except I got the Avalanche again. So then I went to the Blackhawks.
Oh, okay. You could have been the Avalanche again.
Nah.
All right. I'll do my random teams. I got Blue Jackets or Jets.
Ooh.
Oh, but their defense sucks. I'm gonna
Dude,
go.
it really does.
I'm gonna go suicide.
It's also threes, though, and you can just have 3 forwards.
No, we're playing full game.
Oh, this is full game?
Yeah, because you earned threes was for home ice.
Oh.
So you got home ice by playing threes, and now we're gonna do full game.
Mind if I take the Avs back?
Do you wanna? Yeah, okay. You can have the
Here,
Avs back.
no, I'll start over. Randomize.
All right.
So I have to do 3.
All right.
1. Nope. Wild. Sabres.
So you get Wilder, Sabres. Oh.
Bruins! No! Fine, I'll be the Bruins.
All right. They're so good. Don't be upset.
They are good. Their defense is
I'm gonna go 3.
surprisingly
1.
low.
Islanders.
Yeah,
Avalanche. Ducks.
Ducks.
Let's go.
there you go. You got a goalie, that's for sure.
Oh, 3 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Final game, and then we'll wrap the show.
So who do you go out and get? The problem is, like, any name I throw out there is going to sound stupid because it's going to involve a player that no one wants to move. Who has too many D? The answer I keep coming back to is the Blues. So is there a conceivable move where you... Here's what you might be able to pull off in the offseason, and I'm serious. They're not going to do it now. It makes no sense for them to do it now. The Blues are not going to lose Alex Pietrangelo. They're not. He's the captain of the reigning Stanley Cup champions. They're not going to lose him. They're going to re-sign him. It's going to be for a lot of money. They already have Justin Falk locked up to a big old bunch of money. I could see the Leafs putting together a really nice package to somehow get Colton Parayko. And last year, it was the Leafs picking at a carcass of a team. The context now is extremely different. And I just feel like it can maybe help them.
I feel like there's going to be a lot less talking during this game.
Yes.
And it might be terrible podcast.
Whatever. I don't care.
But who cares?
Whatever. It's back-to-back days. Oh, you hit Marchand, so I'm not even sad about it. My breakout is looking lax. Oh, there he is. Come on, Machi. Get dummied. Get wrecked.
All right.
I'm just
I
gonna.
froze the puck so I can ask you another question.
I'm just gonna skate Marchand into situations where he gets hit.
One thing that I've kind of been an advocate for 3-on-3 overtime is eliminating offsides.
Okay.
So Castle Nick asks if the NHL should abolish offsides and blue lines, but I don't think they should do that during the game.
Okay.
During the Do you want to play an answer and talk about this?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Go ahead. We'll start the game back up.
Or do you think we can? This game's going to take forever if we stop for everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
what do you think about offsides, blue lines?
I'm totally
the
with
game
you.
is famed?
For 3-on-3, they serve no purpose other than to make the game more boring. I think they're totally stupid. Jeff Merrick has this ability to ask questions that if you were watching hockey while high would be the best. And that is if we were coming up with hockey from scratch, like we just had to come up with a sport from scratch, and we came up with something that looks like hockey today, we would never come to the conclusion that we needed offside. I'm not sure we need offside in any sport. What sports have offside?
Soccer?
Soccer has offside, and that's what you can't. An attacking player can't be behind. Like, basically, breakaways are illegal. Sorta,
Right.
Or like a sprung breakaway.
Unless you have the ball.
Yeah, unless you somehow outrun everyone else with the ball, which I imagine is pretty freaking hard. You can't do it. Football is what? You start earlier than you're supposed to?
Yeah, you can't move before. You can't cross the line of scrimmage before the ball is in play.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Because you can't line up behind the quarterback or like at the quarterback. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes some sense. My Tyson Barrie strategy is failing against you right now.
Yeah, it's not
just
working.
wiring it from the point. That makes some sense. Hockey, I don't. See, you said you would keep it during the game. I'm not even sure I would keep it during the game. I just don't see the purpose that it serves. Like in like here, what's your retort to that?
The purpose of the offsides?
Yes.
I think offensive offensively it'll be
You'll just
more
get guys
creative.
camping.
Right, and I don't think you'll see as much
shit.
camping as you'd think because it doesn't happen in basketball, which doesn't have an offside.
Which doesn't have offside, yeah.
The guys are too good for them to camp out on the other side, right?
Well, and you know what prevents it? In basketball, you have the same number of players on the court
Right,
as the other team.
right.
So in hockey, unless it's a power play, but even then you're
You need to play defense.
Yeah, you're the defending team.
If you're matching up man to man, you need to play defense.
Exactly. But in hockey, you have the same amount of players as the other team. Pay attention, and if they burn you, friggin' looks good on you.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why we need offside at all in this sport. Oh, you never played the game. No, I'm trying to make the game better. Shut up.
It's interesting because I feel like it won't be as much on the camping out on the other end of the side. It will be more on the breakouts. Like you'll have guys breaking out and ending up in the zone somewhere. You know what I mean? Like the pass that's barely onside will now be completely over the other side, and he'll be hanging out in the corner as the puck's coming in. Like your guys will be setting up in the offensive zone before the puck gets in, as they can't right now. So the game will be fundamentally different.
Yes, and that's...
And are we willing to change the entire way hockey's played?
Which brings us to
in our hypothetical.
Which brings us to a ridiculous conversation that we often have. What is hockey?
Right.
Like, it'll be a great sport when it's done. I get evolution, but like, is that just the next one?
Because there was one time when you couldn't pass the puck forward.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be more like rugby.
But that was 100 years ago. And now we're still having debates like, how bad is a cross check to the throat really?
Right.
I just feel like it's futile.
But what if 100 years from now we've already played 100 years with no offsides and we're thinking, oh, that was ridiculous when we had offsides.
Yes. I believe it. And like 3-on-3, it's so shitty. It's just 3-on-3 is supposed to be ridiculous breakneck fun. That's the point of it. Right? You don't have 3-on-3 because you think it closely resembles 5-on-5 hockey. And you're certainly not doing 3-on-3 to put an emphasis on defense. Why do you have offside? Get rid of it. But then you get the conversation of, well, how different is it from the shootout then? I don't know. I just want us to pick what hockey is.
All right, so it's the end of the first period. It's 0-0. Steve's the Bruins. I'm the Ducks.
I don't have a shot on goal.
I have 4 shots on goal. Steve has 0. Steve's currently on the power play. Has it expired yet?
I think it might have. Jesus.
No, a minute 22 has expired on his power play. So he's got that left. And we're going to head into the second period. And our question is going to be from Miles Marcelini. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm terrible with names. I apologize to everybody's name I have butchered this episode.
Sure.
He says, unpopular food opinion, ?
Oh, here, this will be a short one.
Oh, what?
Or,
I thought you'd have a hot
fine.
take.
Here,
Let's go.
We'll go into it.
You have so many food takes.
Well,
How dare you?
So my hatred of bell peppers has really screwed me, and I love food. I love all kinds of food. I'm not one of those guys who's like, I won't eat like a certain culture's food, but like my hatred of bell peppers really limits like what I can have like for Mexican, oh, Jesse, there's one flying. It really limits what I can have for Thai food, a lot of Indian food. So that's not a hot take so much. It's just me regretting how much I hate peppers, because anything from any of those cultures, as long as it doesn't have bell peppers, is friggin' delicious.
Right.
But the things that have bell peppers, I like can't ignore it.
How about this take?
A hot take.
Do you have a hot take?
There's so much drunk food I'd rather have before poutine.
That's a good one.
There's 1,000 things I'd rather. Oh, but bro, we gotta. Dude, shawarma is friggin' awesome. Pizza.
I would take pizza every day. Also,
I think I'd have street meat over poutine.
100% agree. Good hot dog.
Yeah, a good hot dog. That's the key. I didn't
Gravy on fries isn't the best.
Okay, I'll disagree with that.
I'm not. Gravy doesn't do it for me. I'm not a gravy person.
I just feel like it's kind of like poutine, especially at these places that got to crank out so many boxes of it at like 2 a.m.
Right, when they're the only place open.
Yeah, it becomes kind of like nachos in that all the good stuff's on top. And like you eat it right away like a friggin' animal. So none of it, like it doesn't seep throughout the fries. You don't get like an even distribution of cheese or anything. It's just so rare to get it done well. Like you'd have to get poutine at like a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant.
A real place, yeah.
Yeah, to have it good.
Fast food poutine, I 100% agree with you. Can I also add this?
Sure.
If your food is good, it doesn't require ketchup. Ketchup only goes on bad foods.
But couldn't that be said of almost any sauce?
No, there are certain sauces that enhance food. If you make a good sauce and most chickens require sauce, I find, because some sort of barbecue sauce or whatever, or curry chicken or whatever it is, or good seasoning. But ketchup itself, I find, is only for bad food. So if you're eating something with ketchup, you're probably eating some bland food.
But does that mean you don't like ketchup, or you do?
I love ketchup.
Oh.
I use it as a
what do you
modifier of the taste.
So what do you have it on? Because then we know you don't like that food.
Normal stuff like bad fries or whatever. Like
I'm not a big ketchup and fries guy.
Really?
Scrambled eggs. I like it sometimes.
No, that's nasty.
Except, okay, I'm gonna get in trouble. The way my wife makes scrambled eggs, I put ketchup on that. The way I make scrambled eggs, they're perfect.
Oh.
No, but
you're gonna be in big shit.
No, we've already had this. We've already had this argument many times. Maybe I should stop trying the exact same friggin' thing.
Yeah. The more I talk, the worse I play. But
this cannot be good to watch.
No,
we're both bad. Oh no. No. We just fundamentally see eggs differently. She likes hers a little bit more dry. Whereas I like mine nice and creamy. There's a Gordon Ramsay video on YouTube where here's how you make proper scrambled eggs.
Right.
And if you don't like creamy scrambled eggs, it'll be disgusting. But I think they're amazing. Here, before your my power play, you want to ask a different one?
Sure. Sorry, I need to go through these.
I'm a mustard on fries guy. I know that's disgusting.
Ew.
I know. There's so many things I'd rather have with fries than ketchup. I'll do mustard, which I know is strange, but like I'll do barbecue sauce. I'll do gravy, which I know you said you're not a huge fan of. But like you said though, good fries don't necessarily need it. All they need is salt.
Sorry, one of our cameras just the battery died, so I'm just going to switch it to the other one.
Sure.
So we can have some picture of us. There we go. And I got to come up with another question here. Do you want to plug your book dates while I'm looking for this?
Oh my God. Yeah, sure.
You're going to be, I know someone was asking about your Windsor date specifically.
Yes, so we got February 22nd, Belleville, 12 to 3. On my most recent YouTube video, I posted the exact address and everything. Do you have that in the description for the podcast?
I can definitely put it there.
Okay, good. February 22nd, Belleville, 12 to 3. February 29th, Waterloo, 11 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. March 7th, I'm going to be at the Peterborough Pete's game. I'm going to be there pre-game and first intermission. That's March 7th, Peterborough Pete's. March 21st, Windsor. Show up, damn it, because Windsor is mad far. 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Guelph, noon to 3. That's March 28th. I think I might have missed the date. March 21st, Windsor. March 28th, Guelph. April 4th, Kingston. And April 11th, Burlington. Burlington is 1 to 3. Kingston is noon to 3. Guelph is noon to 3. Windsor is 1 to 3. But if there's still a lineup, I hope, at 3, I'm not going to just bounce. So yeah, those are all my book dates.
Sweet. I got another question.
Sure.
This is from Just Kyle 51. I'm going to modify the question a little.
Okay.
Playoffs start tomorrow. Tampa, Boston. Which one? Dissect the matchups. How do you think it's going to go?
Here we go.
Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, and it is for everybody listening. Steve and I have paused the game. I have 5 shots on goal. Steve has 1 shot on goal. It is the middle of the second period, and Steve's about to go on a power play.
This is so bad.
We are terrible, but that's okay.
You're playing good defense.
We're trying to do a podcast while also playing NHL.
Yeah, I'm not thinking at all about anything that's going on.
All
right
right.
now I'm looking at blades bumping into the boards.
So Boston, Toronto.
You're
Dissect the
blocking all my damn
matchup.
shots.
What do you think's going to happen? That's a penalty on me.
Oh, is it though?
Ooh, 5-on-3 for Steve.
Or were you at center?
No, 5-on-3.
Oh,
Let's go. I shot the puck over the glass.
who is 38 on the Ducks?
I have no idea. It'll say.
I don't know who that. Derek Grant.
That could be a creative player, and I wouldn't know.
Derek Grant. Sure, I believe you. He was on the Sabres, I think. Anyway.
Do you want to do Boston versus Toronto first?
Oh, you want me to break down both series?
Yeah.
No, I'll do Toronto Tampa.
Okay.
I'll start with Toronto Tampa. I hate both of them. Both those series are so bad. They're both very unfun. Tampa, I just feel like is the Leafs, but better at all the things that the Leafs do, right? Like they dummied the Leafs early in the season, and that's when they were playing their worst hockey in several years. You know, they got a redonkulous power play, which sucks because the Leafs penalty kill sucks. Oh no! Shoot! Jesse's about to score. Oh!
It's too close.
They got a redonkulous power play. Vasilevsky started to play really, really good again. Probably had too slow of a start to win the Vezina. Please just hit Chara.
I scored the first goal of the game.
Whew. Nice.
Close one.
Very, very good. And they just got Blake friggin' Coleman.
Right?
And I honestly, you see differently, but I just feel like I talked about the Lightning like they couldn't go through what they went through last year and not be broken. For the first 2 months of the season, they were broken. Mm-hmm. But they got it back, and now they have something they didn't have last year, which was a bad mood. They were fat and happy. Team's gonna, fly you on a private plane just before the season's done. You have Victor Hedman, who is clearly battling a concussion, right? So nothing for Tampa prepared them properly for the playoffs last year. Whereas this year, I feel like they, buddy, you got to watch those stick infractions.
I know.
I feel like this year they're better prepared mentally, and CJ, that's one of his things that he always brings up. I want to see the Leafs play the Lightning because I feel like they match up so well stylistically. Wait,
he wants to see them?
He wants to see it from an entertainment standpoint, and I'm like,
just chaos.
Yeah, and it'd be. I didn't realize how much time was left. Yeah. It'd be awful. I think the Leafs would get killed
because they play the same game, right?
I think so.
And there's a team that just plays your game better than you.
It'd be a better. This is strange, but I think it might be a better measuring stick than here. Maybe we should pause. Or no, because I'm going to go right into Boston, so it's okay. It might be a better measuring stick than Boston, who's just a complete different style. So here's my very unpopular opinion on this. Leafs lost to Boston in 2013. Mm-hmm. They lost to Boston in 2018 and 2019.
Yep.
And,
nice goal.
Who was that? DeBrusque. And all of them were Game 7s. 2018 was Game 7, and they had a lead in the third period. Last year they got killed, but I would argue the Leafs look better throughout the series. It's hard not to pick a team the Leafs have come so close to beating in back-to-back years. Wouldn't you rather have a shot, third time's a charm, right? You can probably... The most annoying, heartbreaking thing about their losses to Boston is they look so close to beating them. Whereas Tampa, it's just sort of this mystery box. And my own mental demons, like I want them to beat the freaking Bruins.
Yeah, it's the most satisfying thing that could ever happen.
Easily. Everyone's dreading, they're just going to get the Bruins again. Please give me the Bruins. because I won't be able to rest until they beat them. And a cup story won't quite be... The best cup story is them beating the Bruins en route.
Mm-hmm.
If they win it without beating the Bruins, it's A-okay, but it's better this way.
It's the same thing with Washington and Pittsburgh.
100%.
That's what you want.
And it had to be in the second round for them. So for the Leafs, it's got to be the Bruins in the first. Sort of. I guess it could be in the second. It doesn't really matter, but you know what I mean.
This question comes from Sandra. You know Sandra.
Yeah.
Our Twitter mother.
Yes.
If Jack Campbell were a dog, what kind would he be?
Ooh, okay. Let's do this.
Do you have a long answer on this?
No, you're right. No, Jack Campbell, if he were a dog, would... Okay, who's a dog that is just happy, unconditional love?
Golden Retriever.
I was going to say Golden Retriever.
Mm-hmm.
Comedian Matt Wright from Newfoundland. We were hanging out once, and we were talking about comedian Pete Holmes, and he just said, oh, he's a Golden Retriever of a man. He's just constant happiness. Pete Holmes, by the way, is the hardest I've ever laughed at any comedian live. I was like friggin' hyperventilating the entire show. He was so funny. He'd be a Golden Retriever. Jack Campbell cannot be a Golden Doodle because they're too nuts.
And he's not that nuts.
No, he's just happy, cool. He's like I would say Jack Campbell is a 6-year-old Golden Retriever.
Oh.
He's not. He doesn't quite
A
have
little more matured.
the puppy energy. Yeah, he's just like, I'm here for you. Are you home from work? Glad to see you. You know, not just blah.
This is from Brendan 2_pucks1. Who are your dark horses for the Stanley Cup?
Okay, let's
do that while we finish up this game. 1-1 tied in the third.
I've been saying the Colorado Avalanche for the longest time, but at some point, I feel like your injuries add up, and like these guys are barely able to keep it together throughout the regular season. Like, how's this going to translate in the playoffs? The goaltending's been concerning too. They have depth.
Oh my God.
What the hell did you just do?
I don't know what that was.
They have goaltending depth, but like you need to know who your goalie is. And like, I almost scored in my own net. Like Grubauer could go down.
Grubauer is down, by the way, but only day to day. And Francouz is in net.
Yeah, so. Francouz, supposedly.
Francouz is how you say it?
Yeah, that's okay. I learned that very late in the game.
All right, me too.
Look at how lumbering Chara is. Just call penalties on him. I hate this league. You know what? You got to try the pasta bomb.
Yeah.
Like just on the rush.
Oh, you have the puck.
Oh, I have the puck. Shit.
I know. We were both confused.
Yeah, Avalanche are tough. It's weird that like Tampa's a sleeper.
Right.
Because they're so close to being first place. But like we're not talking enough about how ridiculous that is, considering how bad they were. They were real bad. Like I want to say
they were out of the playoffs.
Yeah, like the beginning
late,
of December.
Yeah, like
when
late in
Sheldon
the game.
Keefe got hired, I don't think Tampa was in a playoff spot. Right? Oh! Ah! Yeah, sorry. There's going to be no words for a sec here. Yeah.
Oh.
Freeze that there, Tuca.
Almost scored.
I got to say, both games they played against the Leafs, I really liked their style. Everyone's sleeping on the Dallas Stars.
Okay. You've said that before.
They have star power. They have buy-in, which is really important. Like, how can you have Tyler Seguin go on a 17-game goalless drought and it's not a crisis?
Right, and just the guys still believe in him.
Yeah, they have such a defensive buy-in, and everyone believes in them. Jamie Benn is another guy who, like, really struggling offensively this year. I think he just had a hat trick, but by and large on the season, he's really struggled. But then he adopted this new role of, I'm just going to steamroll everyone, which he's actually really good at. They have a number of just tough pricks who don't care about your personal well-being on the roster. Gurianov is a super underrated player in this league. Heiskanen has several more gears. Ben Bishop can steal you more than one series. I probably should have taken that. What?
Oh, my gosh.
What happened?
Just waved off.
Did I kick it in?
I don't know. But
Oh, I definitely. Yeah, that's not going to count.
No, that definitely shouldn't count. So anybody listening, puck just went into the net somehow. Looked like it bounced off a skate, and it's going to be called a kick in. So
What's
the
the
ref
call?
is going no goal.
Shitty league.
No goal.
Brutal league. Hate it.
Hey.
Boo. You robbed Richie. Whoever
Good
that
call. Thank you for saving my game.
Garbage. I said whoever that is for Richie. I'm pretty sure he was a star as I'm talking about how good the Stars are.
So those are your dark horses?
Well, no, I've only said one really. Well, yeah, I guess Tampa is a sort of a dark horse, but like really super shouldn't be. Oh, what a play. Maybe we should be I don't know, because they might not even make the playoffs, but should we maybe talk a little bit more about Columbus?
I like Columbus just for how feisty they are. You know, it seems like no matter what happens, they can pull out a win.
Like they're one of those teams that have an identity that doesn't depend on individual players.
Right.
So for a lot of teams, losing Seth Jones, typical Rat Marchand, for a lot of teams, losing Seth Jones would be the death of them. But I just feel like, he's obviously a ridiculous talent, but it's buy-in, right? They could do it. They can win as a unit, and they're getting redonkulous goaltending from whoever the hell they put in there. It's so unfair. Like, is Korpisalo even back from injury? And what is his job once he does get back? He can't possibly be the starter. And that guy was an NHL All-Star before he got hurt. They're ridiculous, and they also might not even make it. Islanders, I don't know. I kind of believed in last year's Islanders team more than this one, if that makes sense.
No, last year's Islanders looked great. We talked about that a lot going to the playoffs.
Yeah, like it got to a point where I was like, guys, maybe we should stop saying that this dam is gonna burst.
Yeah, because that just kept being like, oh, it's gonna end, but maybe they're just really good.
Yeah. Are we gonna get OT here?
I would love that.
Unless, oh my God.
Oh. What is happening? 1 second.
There we go.
Thank
So now we're
goodness.
going to overtime.
We're going to overtime. It's 1-1. Whew, Steve's still on the power play because I keep taking penalties. For anybody listening, that's the update.
You know what it could be? We're sort of sleeping on all the Pacific teams just because that division's weak. But like, you could sort of snore your way to the third round if you're in the Pacific Division. Or like you could be a team that's, might barely make the playoffs in a lot of divisions and make the third round. And after that, it's a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. After that, it's who's the most healthy, who's getting the best goaltending, who's got the highest shooting percentage. That's really it, isn't it?
Do you want to talk about Tyson Barrie?
Sure.
Troy Young, Troy37 on Twitter, says this morning. Oh, I'm going to switch out one of our cameras too because
all we have is the gameplay.
Oh, we have his gameplay right now.
Sure.
So Troy said, this morning, Darren Dreger reported Western Conference teams are asking the Leafs about trading Barrie. Would you? What package would you like back for Tyson Barrie?
I need to get a right-hander back.
I'm going to go grab a battery, and I'll be right back.
Sure. Oh, shit. You have to grab a battery? All right.
Talk about this.
Sure. I'll show you some replays. Oh, no. Can't do that. Anyway, I'm just going to keep doing this. Yeah, guys, it doesn't make any sense for the Leafs to trade away Tyson Barrie and not get a right-hander in return. It just doesn't make any bloody sense. They're already shorthanded as it is. They're so shorthanded that losing Cody Ceci actually hurts them. And the other thing that concerns me about a report like that, or at least annoys me, is Western Conference teams are calling the Leafs. There's a lot of teams in the Western Conference. That doesn't tell me bloody anything. And what is it about the Western Conference that makes Tyson Barrie more appealing to them? Wouldn't an Eastern Conference team like his skill sets? I don't know. I get annoyed by stuff like that. That just seems like a very It seems like a very video gamey rumor. But trading Tyson Barrie, guys, man, get off him. Get off him. I think, I mean, you play with Morgan Riley, who you have a much better idea who he's going to be with each and every shift. So you get Barrie Riley, Muzzin Hall. All of a sudden, you take a lot of pressure off both of them. And then, I don't know, Sandine Liljegren? Or Sandine Dermott? Or, this is why, when the Leafs are healthy, I think we're getting closer and closer to maybe they can afford to trade Dermott. What has been kind of wild is they've evaluated so many forwards, and like they're clearly just calling up Marchment and Korshkov to see if they work. Mm-hmm. But like Kiwi Halmy never got into a game. Like we don't even know what we have with him, right?
Ready for overtime? I'm gonna ask you another question.
Sure.
Game 7, Stanley Cup Final, Leafs versus whoever. What's your pregame meal? That's from 40_Helmy on Twitter.
My fingernails. I feel like that's the short answer. My fingernails, dude. Like, I'd be sick. I think
I don't know how you would be able to do it.
I'd have to eat at like 3 or 4. And then I would either eat nothing during the game or everything. There is no in between. I would need chips. That would have to be a chip thing. Here's how big bags of chips works with me. If my wife was there when I bought them, I gotta leave some and put it in the cupboard. If she didn't see me buy them, that bag of chips is dead.
It's yours.
It's dead. The whole thing, start to finish, dead. And Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, this is going to sound disgusting. I could easily do 2 full bags of chips.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And just drink water so I don't die of dehydration.
This is from Mahesh. Let's talk about this while we play overtime.
What's up, Mahesh?
Ooh, it's going to be real difficult. But how do we fix the NHL playoffs? What kind of format do we go to? How do we seed? Because we're seeing a lot of changes. We're seeing the NBA come out with reports that they're going to experiment with the playoffs. We're seeing the MLB try it next year, according to Manfred, which is wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're going to...
What's the new stipulation? There's no cheating allowed?
So they're going to ban cheating in baseball.
Wow. That's big.
Which is... I don't know if it's going to work because people in baseball love to cheat.
But I think baseball should ignore improvements to their playoff format until their trophy is legitimate again. The World Series is straight up illegitimate.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you. I think baseball right now is it's like burning down.
Well, Greg Wyshynski had a great tweet because Mike Trout came out and basically said that the Houston Astros should be stripped of the 2017 World Series because, and I guess they didn't win in 2019, but they made it there. And he's like, oh yeah, just a normal day for baseball where the reigning MVP says that a World Series title should be stripped off another team. Like, Can you imagine, like, who won the Hart last year? Kucherov? Okay, imagine McDavid. Like, a scandal came out about the Blues, and McDavid is like, the St. Louis Blues should be stripped.
And I think that's so evident of the problems that baseball has because you have the players, which is supposed to be the biggest fraternity ever among sports, is the players stick together. They're turning on each other. Every day on Twitter, a new baseball player comes out and says some stuff about the Astros.
It's the Astros versus the entire world.
Exactly.
So, Jesse, here, you know more about baseball than me. Is this allowed? Can a team start some random AA pitcher, have them bean whoever the first batter is, and then he gets ejected, and then they go to their actual starter?
That can happen, but you would be suspended. Like, the coach would be, the manager would be suspended. There'd be some hefty fines.
Team will cover it. Team will cover it. There will be hefty fines from 30 teams.
That's a slippery slope. There'll be a lot of suspensions.
You know what's a slippery slope?
Yeah.
Allowing guys to fucking cheat for 3 years.
Right. But violence, throwing a baseball at someone isn't an answer.
It's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
You know, I always make fun of baseball brawls because it's, it's just guys, basically, it's just a conga line that doesn't have a form. There will be jaws broken. This year.
I'm afraid. Like, I don't know what the end result is here because it's
afraid. Sorry, do you mean jacked because it's going to be hilarious.
No, that's not the way we should be looking at the sport.
You shouldn't watch baseball for the fights.
No, we shouldn't be watching it because one team cheated and we want to see what the fallout is.
They should straight up be stripped of the World Series title.
Yes, it's
and
ridiculous.
Altuve looks like an absolute dick.
Oh, yeah. Everybody on that team does.
Yeah. Well,
Verlander is the biggest, Twitter fingers guy when anything in baseball comes out.
And Trevor Bauer.
He's been silent this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke.
He's embarrassed.
He should be.
He ought to be. He's on a team full of cheaters.
He was part of it. He was a part of it.
For everyone who doesn't know exactly what's going on with the Astros, there's if you're not cheating, you're not trying. They cheated. Cheated. There's Donaldson, when he was on the Jays, was notorious for standing on second base and helping whoever was at bat.
We did that. I did that as a 10-year-old.
Yeah, but you're on the field.
Right.
I think when people complain about that, you're just being a whiny baby. You're
Exactly.
on the field.
That's
hide your
gamemanship.
signs better.
That's gamesmanship.
They used technology and had a designated guy in the back telling them, and they're using trash cans and then allegedly buzzers.
Yeah, last year, they said in the 2019 season, allegedly. Then MLB comes out and they're like, oh, we have no evidence to prove that. Well, Twitter seems to have more evidence than you, Manfred. What the hell are you doing?
Keep sticking a mic. Every journalist's job is to keep sticking a mic in every Astros face because they're going to talk themselves into being proven guilty in 2019 too. All this Altuve stuff is fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy
the
how
unfinished tattoo. You know how easy that is to prove is a lie.
Right.
And then today, did you see the thing where he took his shirt off in front of reporters and turned towards them intentionally to be like, "Here's the tattoo."
He walked into the clubhouse without a shirt on.
But I thought you were shy, and I thought you got in trouble from your wife.
Thought you didn't want to take your shirt off.
What is it, Jose? I think what it is that you're a dirty liar.
Yeah,
and then when's it going to come out that, it's a language barrier thing? So you're a dirty, lying cheater in two different languages. The Astros are cheaters.
I'm glad we got to talk about this.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
It's remember when I came in after Kawhi hit the shot against Philly and I was like, guys, we don't have to talk about hockey today. That's all I want to talk about.
Basketball podcast today.
I am obsessed with the Houston Astros story.
Which is a bad thing.
It is.
When was the last time you were this excited about baseball? When the Jays were in the
competitive,
playoff, right? That's not why you want people coming to your sport, because a bunch of guys cheated at it.
Yeah, what a shame. I mean, villains jack up the ratings. You know,
sure. No, how do I trust baseball? That what we're watching is the next guy. They haven't just figured out a new strategy to cheat.
Okay,
that they don't have a camera in their cap.
Literally
that has a vibrate and it's vibrating every time. Simpsons. It's going to be a slider.
Yeah, and you see there's another new thing with Altuve is he wore an undershirt the whole game, and when he goes up to bat for that final at bat against who was it, Chapman?
I believe so.
He's not wearing it. Dude, they cheated
hard.
And the MLB proved that they cheated in 2017. They didn't. How far down your bullpen do you have to go to find a pitcher who makes $5 million? How far down your rotation? Because that was what they got dinged, was $5 million.
Right. Well, what do you mean?
In terms of how good of a player makes $5 million in the MLB?
You could be if you're a high-end relief guy or a low-end starter, like a fourth starter.
So in terms of cash, they were fined a high-end relief guy / fourth starter.
Yeah. And
some draft picks, and their coach got fired, and their GM got fired. And I got news. That's not going to hurt them that their coach got fired because the coach wasn't doing his job because he didn't have to do his job because they were fucking cheating.
The craziest thing is that none of the players got any punishment.
Nothing.
The guys who were doing the cheating got nothing.
They should,
That's like if a guy gets caught with steroids, you charge his doctor. No! Charge the guy who took the steroids!
This will never happen, but straight up, the Houston Astros should not be allowed to play baseball this year.
Yeah? If this was like NCAA, it'd be like, we're stripping your titles.
You're
banned for a couple seasons.
May not compete in NCAA.
Because they can do that to schools, but at this level, they can't do that to the Houston Astros, $1 billion team.
What's worse, steroids or this? this 1,000 times, right?
Yeah.
Because
Steroids was across the league.
yeah.
At least all the players were in on it.
You can't throw Brock. You can't give Brock Lesnar a bat and he's going to hit 500.
No. You got to at least still be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Did you see Vladdy Guerrero? You could tell I've read a lot and watched a lot. About
Vladdy
this.
said if he knew what pitch was coming, he'd hit 500.
And he would,
And he would.
because he's good.
And the one, oh my God, the home
Can
and
you
away,
believe that we're holding overtime hostage?
the home and away splits
it's
for the guys on the Astros.
They cheated so hard.
Their numbers are significantly better when they're cheating.
Yes. Yeah, which is funny how that works. And then the owner comes out and says, those guys got to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
The more they talk, the more this goes.
Mm-hmm.
And
some of the craziest stuff is like
you're making Trevor Bauer look like the good guy.
That's
how evil they are.
They're all at spring training right now, and the media's like, "How you guys gonna bring back fun to this season? Like, how you gonna get back out there?" And they're like, we're gonna try and just have a good time. And it's like, no, get this guy off the field.
If a reporter was willing to just light their credentials on fire, here's what they should have said. Because I can't remember who it was. Might have been Bregman. He's like, listen, I'm done talking about the offseason. All I want to do is talk about this season. Some reporter should have gone, are you going to cheat this season too?
I wish. No, but that's what they should be saying. That's how ridiculous this scandal is.
Yeah. If for those of you, if you're a little bit lost, it would take us way too long to go through it all. But John Boy on Twitter and on YouTube has done countless breakdowns of what the Astros have done. And you can see it on video and you can hear it plain as day. Their batters were getting tipped to pitches with use of technology. And one of the teams, someone made a huge spreadsheet of who they cheated against. Because they used a metal trash can and you can hear the banging. And they went through all the games, and the Jays were one of the most screwed over teams.
Wow.
Someone, I can't remember who it was. I don't remember the name, but like the Jays had like some pitcher who they had to call up because the Jays had a nightmare.
And he's considering filing a lawsuit because he says his career's over.
He should. Well, those guys don't get tons of opportunities, right, to pitch.
He got that opportunity versus the Astros, and
the one game he gets in, he gets lit up by a team who's cheating
because they know what pitches he's throwing.
Who knows what? And people go, "Oh, well, if that screws your whole career, dude."
Yeah, it can.
How many opportunities do you get?
Yep.
And even if you go the next game and you're an ace, now on average you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you still, if you have a second ace game, and it's watering down all your accomplishments. Yeah, that person, and like minor league baseball players don't make a shitload of money.
No, and they live a tough life.
Like it's constant traveling, right?
Yeah, constant traveling. The clubhouses aren't the greatest. It's not fun.
It's not.
It's
probably less glamorous than even the AHL.
Yeah, because you're doing all summer, remember, and then most of those guys got to play winter ball because they haven't made the show yet, so they're in winter ball as well down in Florida League.
Yeah, so and we're talking about guys making like what, 50, 60 grand?
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
And
like less than 100. A lot of those guys.
Which is, I don't know, like, and if you don't have a backup plan, because again, like longevity in professional sports. You're just making pretty regular full-time job money.
Yeah.
And then at, I don't know, what's it going to be? 30, 35, 40? Like 40 if you're extremely lucky.
No, sometimes
it just gets cut off.
It's earlier than that because those are the guys who don't make it, right? So it's like 30, 29 sometimes,
Yeah.
That's
and
a
so
shame.
that guy, and so you think about it, like one of the most jacked teams in baseball is not only cheating, but like, why not have the pride to at least be like, this guy's a call-up? Mm-hmm. Should we maybe not use the trash can thing against the call-up?
They're trying to win.
They were winning, though. This one particular game that's being talked about.
They're trying to keep winning,
And they're gonna get Jesse Screwballs. They're gonna get bats thrown at them.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
I kind of want to see it a little bit. No, I don't.
This isn't the Coliseum.
Listen. Out loud, I'm going to say I don't want to see that because over my life, I have learned that is the wrong thing to do.
Yes.
Every primal instinct in me is saying throw the bat, and I want to see you throw the bat. I'm just being honest about my feelings.
That's all you can be. You can just be honest.
Listen, don't throw bats at the Jays. They're fine. They're cool. Throw bats at the Astros.
They cheated.
They cheated.
Idea. We end the audio portion of this podcast.
And play overtime?
We play overtime, and you can only see the overtime in a separate video on YouTube.
Let's do that.
All right, so the video and the podcast is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, this podcast went so long
It's been
because we're talking about the Astros.
Too long. So we're going to upload overtime as a separate video of just us playing, not answering questions. So goodbye. We will see you on Sunday when all three of us are back. I'm going to have a great time in San Francisco. Steve's going to have a great time.
Yes, you are.
Not having to check downtown as often.
Yep.
And not being stuck in traffic. And Adam's going to have a great time relaxing and be back with us. So we'll see you on Sunday. Hope you enjoyed this.
You're going down.
Watch the rest on YouTube.
Astros cheated.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness. Connection complete.